Hi everyone, this is Dr. Madhusekhar, Yadla, Professor of Computer Science and Engineering Department, CSC Department, Marri Laxman Reddy Institute of Technology and Management. So my subject is operating system, and today I am going to discuss about the few basic concepts of operating systems. So first thing, coming to the definition of operating system, so operating system is an interface between user and computer hardware. So operating system acts as an interface between the end user and computer hardware. So when we buy hardware components, it won't work without installation of operating system. So it is only physical components. So operating system makes those components work efficiently. So it acts as an interface between the end user and hardware components, that is computer. So so one operating system must be installed to work the at least one operating system must be installed to work any hardware components, that is computer systems. So after that operating system installation, we need to add applications like Chrome, MS Word, games, etc. So operating system helps you to communicate with computer without knowing how to speak computer language. So it is not possible for any user to use computer or mobile without any operating system. So after purchasing of computer system, we must install any of the operating system. So coming to the examples of operating system, coming to the Windows family, Windows 95, Windows XP, uh, Windows 2003, Windows 5, Windows 7, Windows 11, Windows 9, Windows 11, etc. So this is the family of Windows. And coming to the another side, Unix is another operating system. Coming to the mobiles, Android, Symbian. So are the for the iPhones, iOS is the mobile operating systems. So uh, different devices uses different operating system based on their requirements. So nowadays we are using Android operating system for the mobiles, okay, as well as Symbian operating system, iOS operating system. So BlackBerry phones uses BlackBerry operating system. So these systems are separate. So coming to the laptops or personal computers, mostly we use Windows related operating systems. So this is how uh, user is interacting with hardware components. Yeah, this is mediator operating system. So user is not directly interacting with the hardware. So but user is interacting with the help of hardware, with the help of operating system only. So coming to the examples of hardwares, CPU, memory, hard disk, etc. So not only this hardware, so it acts, it can interact with the other applications also. So coming to the softwares, here software is simply a set of instructions or a collection of set of instructions or programs known as softwares. So these software does some work for some task to the computer or user. So this software further divided into two types. So one is system software and second one is the application software. So coming to the system software, System software is used to run the overall functionality of the systems. So best examples for the system software is operating system. So system software is used for computer operating computer hardware. So that is the best example, OS. So some examples for the system softwares are device drivers, assemblers, linkers, compilers, etc. So system software is not only operating system, so compilers, assemblers, device drivers, network simulators, some file systems, all these are comes under examples of the system software. So do remember that system software is used to run the overall functionality of the basic functionality of the systems. So this system software makes the hardware components to work. So system software is a type of software which is an interface between the application software and computer system. So coming to the second type of software, application software. So this is the other hand of the software. So this software runs as based on the user request. It um, it runs on the platform which is provided by the system software. So actually application software is used to perform specific task. Suppose if I want to type something and store a file, so I need to open MS Word. So otherwise I want to do some program by using Turbo C. So I need to install the Turbo C installer. So no, I don't. I want to listen some songs, or I want to see some movies. So then I require some media player, Windows media player related some software. Suppose I want to play something, some gaming related software is required. So these type of softwares we call it as application softwares. So these are designed for specific purposes. So operating system or system software purpose is to run the overall functionality of the operating system. So whereas application software is installed and it runs based on the user requirement. So some of the examples of the application softwares are word processor, web browsers, media players. So word process means in that we are going to store some data. Example MS Word. So web browsers, Microsoft Edge, Chrome. So all these are the examples of the web browsers. Like this, similarly, media players, Windows Media Player, KMP Player, etc. are the examples of the application softwares. So the main difference between the system software and application software is system software makes hardware to work. So though it is the responsibility of to work all the basic functionalities of the computer system. So whereas application software is uh, designed or used for a specific particular task based on the user requirement. So this diagram shows how user is interacting the hardware with the help of application program and then operating system. Then is user is not directly interacting the hardware. So is first user opens some application program, that is application software. So then there is an interface operating system in between this application software and hardware. Simply user gives commands to operating system through some application software, then operating system take care of hardware related work. Next, this is the diagram which clearly shows the conceptual view of computer system, how different users are uh, interacting with the computer hardware with the help of operating system. So in this diagram, user one task is compiler, and user two task is text editor, user three task is assembler. So like that, user n task is database systems. So these four types of application includes both system and application softwares. Those includes system and application softwares. So these four types of applications are interacting with the hardware components or computer system with the operating system. So first, if user one is sends request to the hardware related components via operating system. Like that, user two also sends, user three also request, user n also interface the hardware with the help of operating system. So operating system simply it's mediator between the user of the computer and the computer hardware. So coming to the some basic of the operating system. So nowadays, actually, operating system we are storing in the hard disks. So, but initially, operating system was stored in ROM, read only memory. So this is the concept of earlier days. So so actually, ROM capacity is very small in size. So some user part is there, user area, and operating system occupy some area. So in that ROM initially they stored operating system. So what are the disadvantages of this one is, so coming to the advantages, once switch on, immediately we can perform actions because that is the operating system is readily available to execute on the CPU. So that is the advantage. So immediate actions performs immediate actions. So coming to the disadvantages, suppose in ROM initially, I installed disk operating system 1.1. So after that, 3 4 months or after 1 year, next version of DOS came, that is 1.2. So what happens? Remove the first one, and we need to change that ROM. So replacement. So removing of those things. So why in this case OS occupies more space in the main memory. So that is the problem with the storing of operating system in the ROM. So what we are doing in the nowadays, so operating system nowadays we are storing the in hard disks. So what how to retrieve the operating system to the main memory? See, actually we have two types of memory. So one is secondary memory and the second one is primary memory. Operating system and other applications are actually stored in the hard disk, that is secondary memory. So whenever you but uh, every program execution happens in the primary memory only. So whenever you switch on the system, so some part of the operating system brings into the RAM. So one bootstrap program brings the operating system from secondary storage to the primary storage. So actually that is the case now. The execution of operating system performing nowadays. So but previously the operating system directly stored in the ROM. So nowadays we are storing from secondary storage to RAM. So actually, where the actual execution of programs happened in the RAM. So this is So these are the few basic concepts of about operating system basics. So these are the references I have taken, and thank you for watching this video. Thank you.